Welcome to PiSeas Tarot, and I am your host, Mimi Lightseer. Your business is my business. Today, we will dive into your business with a timeless relationship reading, which means it could be platonic, professional, or romantic. In this session, we will explore the overall energy of your reading, obtain cosmic insights to identify the topics, spill the tea on the energies involved, uncover the positives and the negatives while revealing the lessons that you need to learn, and suggest actions for healings and the best possible outcomes. Remember, this is a general reading, and you have found it when this message is needed. Please take what resonates and leave the rest. Remember, I am LGBTQ plus friendly, using pronouns for storytelling purposes. Lastly, please like, rate, subscribe, and comment. Let me know how this message is connecting with you. And without further ado, let's get into your business. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to PiSeas Tarot, everybody. I am your host. I am Mimi Lightseer, and over here at PiSeas Tarot, your business is my business. And ooh, child, we about to get into somebody's business, okay? Listen, y'all, listen. I promise you, I have been up, tossing and turning since 12 a.m. rather. And I think it got something to do with this reading. But before we get into this, I want to say good morning to all of my guppies, my friends who are on the graveyard shift. Good evening to my international family. What's up to everybody watching behind the scenes on TikTok? If you are new to the PiSeas Tarot experience, go ahead and drop a star in the chat. If you are a returning friend, go ahead and put that fish in the chat. We love to recognize our new and our reoccurring fish that's over here in the sea. Welcome. Listen, everybody, today's agenda consists of an overall brief energy cleanse, which is a meditation and sound bowl cleansing, followed by some divine insights, which is a download and / a earworm. Okay. We also have a energy reading, which will have some overall insights and observations, followed by a tarot card reading, which I will confirm everything of what I told you leading up to this moment, and I will bookmark this conversation with some closing thoughts. All right. Now, before we get into this reading, some of y'all been up all night tossing, turning, can't sleep, working with other people, and they funky energy and attitudes. Some of you guys are just waking up and getting started with your day. No matter where you are, if you are ready to get into this reading, go ahead and get those scrub brushes out, those toothbrushes, any kind of brush emoji that you can see and find. Go ahead and put those emojis down in the chat, because baby, it is time for us to get into this reading. Okay, welcome. Good morning, and here we go. Before we move forward, it's important to take time just to level set and ground ourselves. And a simple way for us to do this is by cleansing our energy through breath work and sound. We want to take in a couple of deep breaths, hold it, and exhale very slowly. With each inhale, we want to be able to invite clarity and balance. And with each exhale, we want to be able to release any tension or any distractions, okay? We want to do this 3 times, all right? So, if y'all ready, here we go. Ooh, I promise you, every time, if you do it the right way, it is so just invigorating. All right. Now let's clear up any remaining stagnant energy. Okay. We're going to clear up any remaining stagnant energy and come one into alignment with presence with our girl Boo Boo over here. Okay. Here we go. Really, Boo Boo? She being janky today. Divine Spirit, I call upon you and I ask for your guidance and your wisdom during this reading. Please surround me with your love and your light. Help me to receive clear and accurate messages. May this reading bring insight, clarity, and understanding for the highest good of all of those involved and for the harm of none. Amen, 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 amen. All right, y'all, listen. Listen. If y'all ready for a fun, safe, but honest interaction, I need y'all to find those emojis and get them ready. Remember, this is a safe space, and your honesty, your engagement, and your transparency is appreciated. Listen, ain't nobody judging you, girl, sir, ma'am, madam, wherever you are, right? We've all been a fool in love, and today just may be your turn, all right? Let's get ready for this engaging and dynamic time, and if you're ready to get into this reading, I need you to go ahead and put those cooking emojis in the chat. Go ahead and put those cooking emojis in the chat because, baby, I'm telling you, my brain been cooking since I've been up this morning with what this is about. All right, here we go. Each day, I always take a minute to reflect upon the immediate energies that Spirit is showing me, whether it be through divine messages or downloads or earworms, etc. And this morning, as I was sharing in the pre-show, I was tossing and turning, just thinking, and I keep hearing this earworm playing in my ear. And it's very rare that we have the same artist back to back, but this song is by Chris Brown. And the song is number 1 on his album 1111, and it's called Angel Numbers. Okay, and I just keep hearing Chris Brown singing, "I lost my way somewhere in another galaxy. Too much to take, too much to take. These memories end in tragedy. And all these places, all these faces, I don't want to let you down. All these mistakes of mine, I can't replace it. I got to move on somehow." Okay. So I'm hearing this playing in my ears, but then I'm thinking about just twin flames, not my twin flame, not any specific twin flame, just twin flames in general. Okay. And as I'm thinking about it, I'm starting to see the word outcome. Okay. And then I see the word become. And so then I hear the word income, right? And so it's like, what do all these words have in common? Well, it's the result of something, okay? And then I also hear Spirit say to me, well, if you knew that this was possibly a demonic situation, would you be committed to the outcome? And I know for some of y'all gonna be like, whoa, wait, pump the brakes. That's impossible. But just hear me out. Because as we've talked about this so many times, we've talked about how in pop culture, we have glamorized the narrative of a twin flame journey, but no one talks about the pain and the agony, right? And we pacify and tolerate toxic behavior for the integrity of the narrative of a twin flame, right? But what if that twin flame is not really who you think it is? Okay? Are you just allowing yourself to go through it just to be going through it? So, I mean, it's a lot there to unpack, right? And I don't know what that really specifically means, but that's where my head was when I woke up at 12 something this morning. So let me read it again. Angel Numbers, okay, by Chris Brown. I've lost my way somewhere in another galaxy. Too much to take. These memories end in tragedy. And all of these places and all of these faces, I don't want to let you down. And all of these mistakes of mine, I can't replace it. I gotta move on somehow. Okay? I don't know what this is about. Okay? I don't. I have no idea. But that's what we're here to investigate. And that's what we're here to find out. Because I feel strongly like we're in a transition now that Mercury is going direct. The only planet that we still have in retrograde right now that's important to know is Venus. Okay? And so, I definitely feel like we went through a cycle. We ended a cycle where relationships that were not fruitful, unhealthy relationships have started to break. Okay. So now what does that mean? Where do we go from here? And I think that it has something to do with these twin flames and this twin flame journey. So if y'all ready to get into it, all right. And let me put this out here and say this right now before somebody just run with what I said. Everybody's human experience and journeys are unique to them and different. Different people are on different timelines in different phases in different parts of their journey. I'm not talking about those who have come in union with their partners and are happy and moving on with their lives. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the people who are in the early phases of their journeys and are trying to figure out how to hold on, retain, sustain, and are still attached to the outcome. If you've gotten to the point to where you have moved on from your twin flame, then you're no longer attached to the outcome, which is where you should be. Right? But I'm talking about those who are struggling to hold on for dear life, white knuckling it instead of letting something that's not fruitful go. Okay? So with that being said, if y'all ready to get into this reading, I need y'all to put those tea kettles up in the chat. Put those tea kettles up in the chat because I want to know, what is this about? What is the healing energy that you need? Because that's the chorus of the song, Healing Energy on Me. All right? So if y'all ready to get into this reading, I need y'all to go ahead and put those tea kettles in the chat. Go ahead and put those tea kettles in the chat because it's time for us to go and get into this reading. Here we go. All right, so when understanding energy, it's important to know that spirit talks to us in abundance of ways. Sometimes it's through signs, synchronicities, wonders, coincidences, repetitive things, right? Ironically, the name of this song is called Angel Numbers, right? So a lot of you may be seeing a lot of angel numbers, things that don't make sense, etc., right? But it's up to you to pay attention, right? And I know sometimes I get so sick and tired of seeing angel numbers because I be like, why are you throwing up gang signs? I don't know what this means. I don't know what you're trying to say. Like, even I get frustrated, right? Because people are like, oh, what were you thinking about when you saw it? I don't know. I was just driving down the street and seeing a number. 1, 2, 3. I mean, I don't know. All right. So, Spirit, what is the overall energy reading for today? I promise you, this got something to do. Siri, nobody's talking to you. Here she go. All right, so here we go. What is the overall energy reading for today? All right. Broken open. Okay. Broken open. There is definitely a healing energy that is here. Look at this, how this is in the middle of her heart. Okay, you see how she's shining? When you think about locusts, they grow in mud, okay? So it definitely feels like there is a peace. Just looking at her posture and how she's sitting there, definitely you can't see it all, but those who are watching on YouTube, you can see here where there's like this light radiating from her crown chakra above. So sis is tuned in, okay? Sis is tuned in. She is definitely connected with her higher self. Her heart is open. She's in a place of receiving and she's at peace, okay? It's that healing energy that we're talking about that is here right now. Okay, it's definitely that healing energy. It's giving me, I'm at peace with walking away. I'm at peace with being connected and being guided. I know I'm being protected. I know that I'm being guided. I know that I am in a place where I am able to heal. And I trust. I'm no longer attached to the outcome, okay? I trust that what is for me will be here for me. If it's good enough for me, it is good. And this was the other thought that came to me too this morning. Without being all biblically philosophical, we know that when God did something, it was good, period. It was good, period. But in our human capacity, we expect for things to be above average. Good is just mid, okay? It's just average, 3 stars. But in our human minds, we expect for something to be 4 or 5 stars and above, right? But if it was good for you, just average, God would give it to you. Because he says every good and perfect gift comes from above. He who finds a wife finds a good thing. When he created the sun, he said, let there be light, and it was good, right? So think about it. There was nothing ever said in the Bible about it being exceptional. It was good. It was good, okay? It was good. Now, for some reason, we're not okay with being good enough, right? But it's just decent, all right? So what is the truth that we need to hear for our journey right now? What is the truth that we need to hear for our journey right now? Sometimes less is more. All right, trust. Ha, I just said that. Okay, y'all see what we going with this? Y'all see what we going to with this today? Baby, I'm trying to tell you. Trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. Didn't I tell you already, okay? Didn't I tell you already that this is about trust? All right? Releasing and letting go. Understanding that if you're connected to spirit, you're being guided, okay? Yesterday, we spoke a lot about intuition and needing to follow in it, okay? Understanding that this is about trust. When you believe that you are in alignment with where you need to be, first of all, if you're out of alignment and you're in places that you shouldn't be in, spirit has a way of getting you back in place. You have to tap into your higher consciousness in order for you to be able to receive and acknowledge that, which is why clarity is important, which is why you need to minimize distractions, which is why you shouldn't be forcing yourself into environments and places that don't feel good to you. Your inner you knows, okay? Your inner you knows. Now, guides of the hidden realms, what messages do you have for us today? Frozen for time, okay? Non-action, slow down, not yet, okay? So you're being told to trust and to sit still. Be still, okay? Be still. Don't do anything for right now, which is where it goes back to what we were talking about during the pre-show. If you were here, we were talking about letting go and surrendering without saying that explicitly. That's what we were talking about. Knowing when to release, knowing when to surrender, knowing when to let go, knowing when to not fight for something, right? Knowing when to stop forcing something. When you detach from the outcome and do nothing. Allow the things that need to come to you to happen to you and for you, okay? Now, what is the undercurrent here? Okay. Serene serenade. Embrace the rhythm of life and let your movements flow with the currents of change. Okay? I'm going to read that again. Embrace the rhythm of life and let your movements flow with the currents of change. You notice how she's just sitting here being still? And she's at peace? This is about you sitting still, being at peace, watching in awe, watching what is happening around you, but not being moved by what's happening around you, okay? How is this showing up for us in our day-to-day lives? How is this showing up for us in our day-to-day lives? Going back to the earworm, he said, I lost my way somewhere in another galaxy. Too much to take. These memories end in tragedy. At all of these places and all of these faces, I don't want to let you down. And all these mistakes of mine, I can't replace it. I gotta move on somehow. Okay? Doesn't that speak to the pain of these twin flames? Okay, in their shoes. In their shoes. But you see how there are lanes here, right? in their shoes, okay? You have her feet, you have his feet. Huh. Very, very interesting. Huh. Now, the first thought that came to mind as I was looking at that was possibly that the tables are turning. Okay? And the reason why I say that is because it feels like the tables may have turned where they are the ones starting to experience it. And I talked about this towards the end of last year, that we were going on this shift where the energy was starting to change. And if you're a guppy and you've been here, then you know we've been talking about the energy update of the shift that was happening around Thanksgiving, Christmassy. And so the reason why I'm bringing this up specifically now is because usually in these twin flame situations, okay, you have the feminine energy who's always the woke twin first. Okay, always. It's always usually the masculine energy of this connection that is delayed, okay? And so what it feels like is now possibly the feminine energy of the twin flame, the feminine energy twin has disconnected from this and is at peace, and the masculine energy is now starting to experience the turmoil, the tragic, the what's the word? The demise. They're starting to feel the connection. They're starting to be awakened or awoke to what's going on, and this other person is no longer there, possibly. I told y'all this was bothering me at 12 o'clock this morning. Okay. All right. What is the soul whisper? I'm so curious about this. All right. Oh, crap. The plot just mother freaking thickens. Okay. The plot just mother freaking thickened. Truth. Truth. Oh, Lord. Truth. Baby. Truth. 3 things cannot be hidden for long, okay? The sun, the moon, and the truth. Consider whether the truth is, sorry y'all, my eyes. Consider whether there is a truth that you're not facing at the present. If you were here during the pre-show, I talked about how people deliberately avoid things. If you were here when I was rambling and talking about that, just put your ear in the chat. If you remember when I said that sometimes people avoid, they try to not confront their shadows, and I've spoke about why it's important for you to spend time alone and value being single and doing things by yourself. Okay? I'm going somewhere. Sometimes the facts of life lie in the shadow, the reality too painful or too difficult to bear. Regardless of attempts made to avoid the reality of a situation, realize that no amount of pretending, cover up, or distortion can alter the truth. Recognize that the truth need not be a burden. Though it may be difficult to face at first, it is also functioning as a key unlocking the door to many freedoms. Ask yourself whether your holding back is worth the angst of not speaking up. Choose to communicate your truth in a loving and respectable way. Most often, you will experience a cathartic release. When you let go of thoughts or feelings that are keeping you anchored in one place, you set your sights on something that really matters. Lies, deceit, and untruthfulness will bind your heart and your mind, but the truth will set you free. This is about you overcoming with honesty, peace. Here we go again, talking about that word peace, candor, and release. This is about you overcoming lies, feeling bound, deceit, and trapped. Okay. This is dealing with the throat chakra. All right. Which is ironically, with this blue on this frozen for a moment in time, you don't have to say anything. You don't have to do anything. Just be at peace. Just be quiet. Just trust that it's going to work out. If you believe that this is meant for you to hear today, I want you to write down in the chat, I refuse to bind myself with lies. I refuse to bind myself with lies. I refuse to bind myself with lies. Okay? This is about a healing energy. There is a peace there's a shift. There's a peace that's here. There is a growth, something happening behind the scenes, something that you've disconnected from, something that you are no longer subjected to, you're not partaking to, like you're not here for, you're not willing. I bind myself from the lies. I refuse to bind myself with lies. I refuse to bind myself with lies. Yeah. All right. So now as we start to shift to personal insights and the potential parties that are involved, remember to focus on what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. Okay. You would never go to the store and buy a pair of Louboutins that you know good and doggone well don't fit. So don't try to make something fit you that does not fit. All right. Going back to the earworm, I lost my way somehow in another galaxy. Too much to take. These memories end in tragedy. And all of these places and all of these spaces, I don't want to let you down. And all of these mistakes of mine, I can't replace it. I gotta move on somehow. Okay? Whew. Healing energy on me. Okay? Distance. You and your partner may be physically or emotionally distant. Y'all with me now? Y'all believe me now? There's some distance here. Okay? Somebody has walked away. Somebody has walked away from the connection. Surrender, at peace, focusing on themselves, focusing on other things. Refusing to give in to this connection. Refusing to allow this connection to bewilder them and keep them in bondage, okay? Bye, Felicia. Peacing out. Thank you. Next. Leaving and not caring. Somebody definitely is like, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Okay? Somebody has really gotten to the point to where they're comfortable and confident with walking away from this connection. And if you recall, I said at the beginning of this reading, what if you thought about the whole narrative of twin flames being demonic, right? Would you still be attached to the outcome? I'm not calling them demonic. I said, what if you think about them as being demonic, right? Would you still be attached to the outcome?
Goodbye.
You wouldn't. Now, what is the tea here? What is the tea here? What is the tea here? What is the tea? Okay. Somebody may be stalking you. Someone is stalking, watching, and is obsessed with you. Okay. Here we go. Stalker, stalking, watching, blessed. Okay. Now, What lies beneath all of this? What lies beneath all of this? I feel like the tide has changed. This is what I'm picking up on. The tide has changed, okay? Hater. Somebody got a hater here. All right? We got a hater. When we look into the broken mirror, what do we see? Whew. Unknown callers, stalking, hanging up, unknown numbers fell out. Somebody got people calling you private because you blocked them. Unknown callers, stalking, hanging up, unknown numbers. Sick and tired, cycles, over it, decision has been made. All right, sick and tired, over it, cycles, decision has been made. I'm telling you, somebody in this connection walked away from it. And now that the tides have changed, they're now in your shoes, where these twin flames who were asleep, who were ill prepared and not ready for the connection, are now starting to spin the block and circle back. Not taking no for an answer. What is the true emotion here, Spirit? What is the true emotion here? Secrets. There are some secrets here involved. Okay, we got secrets here. All right. What is the true crime here? Okay, something came to an ending. Okay, something came to an end. This is a very stubborn, oh, snap, y'all. Whew. I don't know what type of creature this is on here, but I'm going to venture to say that looks like an old ram of some sort. And we just ended all of this cycle in March with Aries season. This is Aries season right now. This validates what I've been saying about there being a change in a tide during this retrograde. Okay, it happened now. All right. Now, what is the yin and the yang? Nurture, protective, compassion, love, sincere feelings. Want to take care of you, fell out. What is the yin and the yang, Spirit? What is the yin and the yang? Well, dog. What the heck? These three cards just come flying out. All right. Summertime in card. Activity, goals, progress, life force, energy, new pet, karma, balance, weighing things out, cause and effect, choices, want to make things right, fell out, as well as control, sabotage, conflicts, mood swings, trust issues, manipulation patterns, as did nurture, protection. Okay. Compassion, love, sincere feelings, wants to take care of you. Those four cards fell out. Not separation being at the bottom of the deck. Separation, love, longing, abandon, divorce, broken dreams, heartbreak, and grief. All right. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, this is about somebody overcoming their doggish ways. They're very loyal and very committed to themselves. But also somebody who comes across as being somebody that's full of love and like support, wanting to ignite something, wanting to correct something, like an intimate thing. Oh man. What is blocking this energy? What is blocking this connection? Not committed. Always chasing or being chased. You must be willing to commit to one person. Okay, so this deals with somebody not wanting to commit to somebody. Okay, so there's definitely a separation here. Is there any love here? What kind of connection is this? I'm totally in love with you. This person is in love with you. Okay? This person is in love with you. Who, child? Didn't I tell y'all the tides was turning? Baby. The tides are turning. I can't see this. What in the world? Sorry, y'all. TikTok just prompted me to do something, and I don't understand what they're asking me to do. Which one of these objects breathe through a blowhole? I don't know. I can't even understand what you're asking me. That was very they make you validate yourself. I hate that they do that, but I understand why they do that. Okay, so sorry about that, guys. All right, wasting everybody's time. Okay, now person A. I feel like person A is the one who said bye. They just got to the point to where they got sick and tired of dealing with this twin flame. I definitely feel like they're like, peace out, thank you, next. They're leaving and not caring. They like, damn the whole construct of a twin flame. I don't care. I don't want to be here at all. They are distant physically and emotionally from their partner right now. Okay? Because they like, bye. I don't have time for this. I feel like they're definitely the one who is sick and tired of the cycles. They're over it. The decision has been made. Okay? So they're very fed up. Very much so fed up. Okay? They are also the one who has been comfortable and confident with the ending of things of how they were. Okay, they don't feel bad, they don't feel any remorse for it at all. They're living their lives and they're comfortable. Okay, comfortable. May also be at that point where they're like, you know what, if I need love, I can go get a pet. If I need love, I can go, you know, socialize with other people. I have a lot to offer, and I don't want to compromise what it is that I have to offer because somebody else didn't see my worth or see my value at the time. I also feel like this is the person who is dealing with the stalker. So you may be getting a lot of unknown numbers and unknown calls. People may be watching or obsessed with your social media right now. You may be seeing a lot of ghost dummy accounts and things like that. But definitely, I feel like that energy is here as well. Okay. Person B, I feel was not, well, first of all, I feel like person B is holding on to secrets, number one. I think the secret is that they're coming to the realization that they're totally in love with you. Okay. So we got secrets again. All right. I also feel like they're in separation. They're longing. They feel abandoned, heartbroken, and grief. They're dealing with some type of separation from you. Okay. Which is also a standard phase in the twin flame cycle. Okay. Is to go in this separation. And usually that happens really quickly after you connect with this person. This person may not have been wanting to be committed the first time around. Okay. Person might have been very much so indecisive about what they wanted. Okay. But now things are starting to shift. Okay. Things are starting to shift. What this is about karma. It's about balance and control, the cause and effect choices, and wanting to make things right. Okay. Understanding that they can no longer control or sabotage things. This deals with their conflicts, their mood swings, their trust issues, their manipulation patterns. Like they know that they've done something to contribute to this. They know that they're not innocent in this at all. Okay. And what it also feels like is that they are preparing themselves to come towards you with some type of nurturing, protective, compassionate, love, sincerity, feelings, want to take care of you. Okay. They're coming towards you. Okay. Now let's be clear. I also want to suggest that with this summertime, this time is a timing card to expect for this connection to really take momentum. Okay. But also I want to be clear about these haters that are here. All right. I want to be clear. There's haters here. Okay. Now, with that being said, if y'all ready to get into whose business this is, I want you to go ahead and to drop down your zodiac signs in the chat. Go ahead and drop your zodiac signs in the chat because I want to know who's here so we can see whose business we about to get into, because this is about to be good. Here we go. Person A. Person A is so happy right now. Person A is coming in as an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. If you or your person is an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, I am asking for you to put your fire signs in the chat. Put your fire signs in the chat. Put the fire emoji in the chat, okay? You're coming in today as the Knight of Wands in reverse, okay? This is passion project, anger, scattered energy, delays, and frustration, okay? So if you or your person, Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising, is an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, go ahead and put that fire emoji in the chat. Person B. Person B. Person B is coming in as a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, earth signs. Go ahead and put a earth sign in the chat. We have the Page of Pentacles coming in as manifestation, financial opportunities, skill development, ambition, desire, and diligence, okay? So we have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. If you or your person, Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising is a earth or a fire sign, go ahead and put those in the chat. And if y'all ready to get into this reading, let's go ahead and put those magnifying glasses, because I want to know what in the world is going on here. All right, it's time for us to zoom in. We listen, we don't judge, but we sure finna get nosy and get messy. All right, here we go. This is crazy. All right, here we go. What is going on with my Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and my Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn? Oh boy. Y'all won't believe who just came to my mind when I called out these signs. I just got an image of Jay-Z and Beyonce. All right. What does that have to do with this? All right, here we go, folks. Here we go. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, your current energy is coming in as the Eight of Cups in reverse. Okay? The Eight of Cups in reverse. You knew that you should have left this situation alone a long time ago. You saw the challenges and the obstacles that you were facing as being something that you could overcome and work together with this person on. You saw there being a partnership. Like, you saw this being something that you could work through. And you're very frustrated with how things have turned or not have turned, right? You're frustrated with the outcomes of how things have not materialized the way that you thought that they would metastasize. The problems that you started to have, you thought that they would eventually subside, but they've only crystallized and they've only just become bigger and bigger problems. And so for you, you're a little bit irritated that you've stayed way too long holding on to this situation, not wanting to release it. Like, you had a whole lot of faith and confidence in this connection, and now it feels like you're a little bit frustrated with how things have stagnated, right? And so this is where you've gotten to the point to where you're just like, you know what, cool, I'm cool on this. I am cool on this. I'm cool on you. I'm no longer going to be attached to the outcome. I'm perfectly fine with walking away and doing me. It is what it is. Now, okay? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You're coming in as the Magician in reverse. Okay, you're coming in as the Magician in reverse. You are very so much so right now trying to do any and everything to get this person's attention, trying to get back in their good graces, because I feel like this person has gotten so sick of you and your shenanigans. Okay? This fire sign was so sick and tired of you and your shenanigans. One minute you're hot, the next minute you're cold, one minute you're in, the next minute you're out. It became way too much for them to really process. You weren't giving them the effort or the energy that they were looking for. And they just got to the point to where they was like, you know what, I'm good on this. And I don't think that you took this serious. I don't see you being the type of person where it was like, I didn't really realize that this was really a pressing issue. The person kept telling you that this was problematic, but you just kept on ignoring them. Okay. And so the best way that they can get your attention was to walk away from this. If you resonate with person A or person B, I want you to write A or B and then write down in the chat, how does this energy resonate with you today? Like, are you good with walking away now? Or are you regretful that you didn't pay attention to this person when you had the opportunity to pay attention to them? All right. Now, what is favorable about this situation? We got the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. There was a lot of anxiety around this connection. A lot of control, right? You had two people here trying to control the narrative. We know that this Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn was trying to manage by sabotaging, the conflicts and the mood swings and, not wanting to admit and address their trust issues, right? It wasn't that they didn't trust you, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. They didn't trust themselves. They had a lot of secrets. Okay, a lot of secrets, including the fact that while they were telling you they didn't want to be with you, okay, they were secretly in love with you and they didn't like the way that made them feel either. This connection was overpowering to them. Okay, this connection was overpowering. It was loud. It was expansive. It was compassionate. It was explosive. This was not what they expected to happen when they came across you. They always thought that you were attractive, but they didn't see this as being something that was like a long-term connection. Okay? They weren't expecting this. All right? Now, for the Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, what made this very anxious for you was that you wanted things to work out. All the signs were there. All the synchronicities were there. All the confirmations was there. Everything lined up and pointed you in this person's direction. But it also feels like someone may have told you that this was a twin flame connection. And it's not. Let me ask these cards. Hold on. Because I know that that's something some of y'all not ready for. Spirit, for the people who are in this connection between this Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, is this a twin flame connection? Yes or no? Is this a twin flame connection? Yes or no? No, it's not. It's not. You got the Tower card, okay? This is sudden change, upheaval, chaos, revelation, disaster, awakening, release, and a sudden insight, okay? So part of the reason why you were able to come to peace and come to terms with this situation was that something in you started to really question the narratives, okay? Something in you started to really line everything up and just really reflect and assess on this connection, and to make you feel like you got to the point to where you could do nothing. It was like, do nothing, leave this alone, don't do anything, just walk away from it, don't pass $200 to go. So that's what made you very anxious, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You were anxious because somebody had told you, yeah, that's your twin, you can't walk away from him, you gotta learn how to love yourself and just deal with this. And this was getting to the point to where it was driving you crazy. Okay. And this is where you was like, you know what? I don't know. And if you were here during the pre-show, we talked about this. And I even talked about it in the beginning of this reading. And if you don't believe me, you can go back to the beginning and play it from the beginning. Okay? It's the false narrative that this is something more than what it is.
This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency broadcasting system. This is only a test.
If someone told you that this was your twin flame, I just want you to put a red heart in the chat. If someone told you that the person that we're talking about is your twin flame or something thereof of the matter, just put a red heart in the chat. This is crazy. I'm not liking this energy at all. Now, what is consequential about this is that we got the Six of Pentacles in reverse, okay? What made it problematic was that this person wasn't giving you that energy. They wasn't giving you that clout. They wasn't giving you that connection, right? So this is also what was causing some of the anxiety, because it's like, okay, it's not making sense. All of the signs, all of the synchronicities, it's almost like you had a self-fulfilling prophecy going on where you were looking for these things and it became a game. It's almost like where you were making up a whole thing in your mind. And then when it came down to it, this person wasn't giving you any of this. And that became discouraging. They weren't giving you the time, the attention. Oh gosh. Part of their game was to ignore you. Okay? They thought that if they could ignore you. Now, let's be clear. This person does have feelings for you. They absolutely do have feelings for you. But what I'm also saying is that their way of controlling the narrative was to ignore you, to get you to walk away. Like they kind of pushed you, they kind of shoved you and kind of forced you to walk away. Now, I'm not saying that it's the appropriate way of how to handle this. Remember, we talk about sabotage. Okay? What this is trying to teach you is that you got to let things go. Let it go. Let it go. Okay? Stop waiting for people to come back to the place of where things used to be. Okay? Things are not where they used to be. Things will not be the same anymore, right? This person had a way of showering you. This person definitely love bombed you. This person was a real piece of work. This person was very hot and cold. Very hot and cold. Very hot and cold. They had a way of... They had a strange way of showing their feelings and their emotions. It feels like this person had cold feet too. And it also feels like this person had not been in a relationship prior to you. Okay? It feels like this person had not had a relationship prior to you. Well, you weren't in a relationship either with this person, but it feels like they had not been in a relationship in a long time. Put it to you that way. It feels like this person had not had a relationship in quite some time. And it's because they lacked clarity about what it was that they wanted. Okay? They lacked clarity about what it was that they wanted. All right? They lacked understanding. They lacked. This person had a closed heart for sure, which is why they were not committed. This person did a lot of things in their life to reap a lot of havoc and a lot of hell against a lot of people. I'm not liking this energy at all. At all. This became such a problem. Okay, this became such a problem that this Aries, Leo, Sagittarius was like, I need to move around. I need to leave this person alone. You're crazy. You're psychotic. Nothing is making sense over here. This feels like a complete waste of time. You know, I don't think that I'm ever going to get from you. There was an awakening, okay? I know my energy seems so scattered, and I'm trying to process what I'm picking up on because it's hard to conceptualize and then regurgitate what it is that I'm picking up on. But what it feels like is person A, like I said in the beginning of this reading, held on to this with the white knuckles because somebody told you that this was a twin flame connection. Someone told you that this is how it is, this is how it's supposed to be, and you bought into the narrative, okay, that this is what this is. So you justified the toxicity, you tolerated the misbehavior, you accepted all of their malarkey, only to get to the point to where you just got to the realization that I don't believe any of this. I'm cutting it all off. It doesn't make sense. If this is more than what it is, then it would be different than what it is, and it's not changing. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, you kind of got to the point where you was just like, you know what, I'm cool.
All a bunch of bullshit.
Okay? And you have like an anger when it comes to this situation, a resentment when it comes to this situation, but you also have a peace and a clarity that you didn't have before. You said, I'm going to walk away from this and leave it alone. And I am going to trust that if this is for me, this will come back around. If this is the connection that I need to be in, it will come back around. I hate you. I can't stand you. I unknow you. I have nothing to do with you ever again. Like, I don't care. You can go to hell for all I care about. There was a very, very, very ugly argument that happened the last time that you spoke. Names were being called. Explicitives were shared. Like, this did not go down without a fight. Okay? This was an ugly, malicious, spiteful, vindictive, cutting conversation, okay? That has left both parties scarred.
Damn.
Okay? Both parties scarred. This blew up, okay? Do you hear me? This blew up so bad. Y'all remember the movie Mr. and Mrs. Smith? Y'all know how they got into it in the movie and they was trying to kill each other? It feels like this is how bad this blew up. This went left. And there was no makeup. Like, this was no makeup. This was overflowing, boiling with toxicity. But this is who this person is. So they sabotage themselves. They explode from within. They project these negative feelings, but they actually mean the opposite thereof. They talk a whole lot of stuff to avoid admitting the truth, to avoid dealing with their problems, to avoid, they don't like being uncomfortable. And we know that about earth signs. Earth signs definitely are those who have to do things in their own time. So they were uncomfortable, and they didn't like the fact that they were being uncomfortable with having to resonate with these emotions that they didn't want to process. So they shut down. They shut down by projecting all of this negativity, all of this drama. Like, this was just spewing out of them. Okay, spewing. Do you hear me? And this is where Aries, Leo, Sagittarius was like, you know what? I'm cool. I got a whole lot of love to give somebody. I got a whole lot to offer somebody. I know who I am. I know what I have to offer. I don't have to deal with this. It's plenty more fish in the sea. Plenty more fish in the sea. If you don't know what you want, then it sucks to be you right now. But as for me, I don't belong here.
She doesn't even go here.
Okay? Now, at the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Pentacles in reverse. All right? We have the King of Pentacles in reverse. This was an uber failure for this Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. They feel like they took a massive L. Do you hear me? A massive L. Because they were not expecting for this to blow up the way that they did. They thought this was going to be no different than any other argument, no different than any other disagreement. Okay? They thought that this was just going to blow over and things were going to just come back together like they always did. Y'all was going to have some makeup sex and that was going to be the end of that. But this time, the things that they said, the things that they did was so vile and so malicious, you cannot unhear the things that they said. You cannot come back from that. They attacked your sex. They attacked everything about you. Like, it was below the belt. Okay? It was beyond the pale. And let's be clear. You was just as nasty with it. Okay, so y'all got two negative, pew, 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 pew. Y'all just, it's like Mr. and Mrs. Smith. When they were trying to unalive each other. Except for this time, you stood on business, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You taking this person back so many times. So many times. You forgave this person so many times. You had a lot of love in you when it came to this person. You allowed this person to treat you dirty. Like you never tolerated this before. But this particular time, on this particular day, you had enough. You were sick and tired. And you was just like, you gonna learn today that fat meat is greasy.
I am sick. I am sick of your shit. And when I'm not sick, I'm tired. I am sick and tired.
You was like, I'm good. I'm good. Okay? I am good. I am no longer going to sit here and play these games anymore. I am no longer going to sit here and pretend. I'm not going to accept and tolerate this. I'm not going to deny myself of the peace of mind that God has given me. Like, you definitely was like, you know what? I'm cool. The truth will set me free. This came out of nowhere. You were not expecting for this to blow up the way that it blew up. This was a huge tower moment. And this is also what made you come to the conclusion that this cannot possibly be my person. If this is the best that God got for me, then I'm good. Okay? But it was a lot to this person that you did not know. Okay? It was a lot that you did not know about this person. What was the thing that you just cannot forgive them for? What was the thing that they said or did that you just cannot forgive them for? Write that down in the chat. What was the things that this person said or did that you just cannot forgive them for? And I want you to write that down in the chat. Wow, the heartbreak card. It was somebody else here in this picture. Okay, with the Three of Swords, there was definitely heartbreak. You found out that you were not alone. They wouldn't commit to you. They wasn't committed to this other person either. But they definitely had somebody else in the picture. Y'all got into an argument about this person too. This required you to be bold and be confident and walking away from this connection. This caused you to put on your big boy, your big girl panties, underwear, and walk on. This required you to take back your power, get back your control, to get back your dignity and your self-esteem and be able to walk away and to leave this person alone. You had to do what you had to do for you.
Run, Forrest, run! Run, Forrest!
They thought the grass was greener on the other side. And you said, okay, we'll go over there. But I'm moving forward. Don't call me. Don't text me. Don't send a letter by pigeon mail. Don't do nothing. Leave me alone. Stay over there. Don't ever come back over here again. You probably had a whole lot of other choice words too. And because they are so arrogant in their descent, they was just like,
It's all right, mama.
and they was cool. Walking out the door, slamming the door, being all dramatic, want somebody to chase them. You ain't do that. You didn't do that at all. This time, you just let them fall. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, you wiped your hands of this. You said, I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to recollect myself. And I'm going to reflect on what I did wrong so that I can heal and I can be healthy and I can be whole for the person that God really has for me. You might have even said, I unsubscribe rather from the narrative of these twin flames. I unsubscribe to the notion that I have to be bound and committed to a person. I released it and I'm walking away. And this is where you're focusing on your happiness and your fulfillment. Getting back into that space of knowing who you are and what you have to offer and knowing yourself from a different perspective. Again, getting your confidence back, getting your stride back. It's plenty more fish in the sea. Just because it's out there don't mean I gotta go fishing. This is about about you focusing on you. This person is not happy about the way that they handled themselves at all. At all. Which is where they're trying to be manipulative, trying to call you private, trying to do all of these different things. Because they feel weak. Okay, they feel weak. They have nobody else to go suck up all the energy of. They feel like they don't know where to go. And they're not liking the outcome of their behavior. This person operates from a closed heart. This person operates from a negative and low vibration. This person really doesn't know what love is. They don't know how to be collaborative. They don't know how to get to the point of where they can love freely and love with ease. They have feelings that they don't even know what to do with.
Bruh.
And the crazy part is, like, if you don't know how to express yourself and mean it, what am I supposed to do with that? You a grown man. I shouldn't have to pull out of you what you feeling and what you thinking. You supposed to know what you thinking and what you feeling. What are you supposed to do? They expected for you to wait. You over here having conversations with them and they over here like, hold please. Are you still there? Okay, I'm gonna put you back on hold. Like you literally have been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for this person just to keep coming back to you saying,
I can explain.
And then they don't say nothing at all. What am I supposed to do with this? Do you understand how disappointing and hurtful that could be? This is why you walked away. This is why you said enough. Enough. Twin flame or not, soulmate or not, love of my life or not, I'm not dealing with this nonsense no more. This is nothing more than some this person, since you left them alone, started to have an awakening. Remember, I told you there has been an energy shift. Okay? There has been an energy shift. They have come to the awakening. They have come to the conclusion they are in love with you. They ain't had nobody check them. Okay? Now, I know for Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, you over here listening and you just like, oh, no, 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 no.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
But if we're being honest, this Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, they are going through it.
I'm in pain all the time.
Okay? They're going through it. All of this karma is coming back on them all at one time. All of this sabotage and things that they've been trying to put out there, trying to control the narrative, is bubbling up. It is coming back. It is spilling over. It's burning on the stove.
And it stunk so bad.
You want to know something that's really burning they biscuits? It's this. Karma has a funny way of showing up. Okay? Karma has a funny way of showing things. You cannot walk around here and mistreat people and do people dirty and think that you're going to get away with it. I don't care how many women you deal with. I don't care how many. Ooh, that was vulgar. I don't care how many cards you knock down. Dominoes that fall over. Karma is going to always be on the lookout for you. So I don't understand why you shocked that now you trying to go live your life and move on and act like nothing never happened, and then here come all of this stuff coming up from your past. Now you over here looking like a deer in headlights, like you don't understand what's happening to you and why. You got the bug eyes. All of that. This Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. What was the change in this Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn? What happened that this Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn had to change? What happened to the Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn? Okay. They got nervous about their lies being exposed. The truth was starting to come out. They got nervous about their lies being exposed and the truth coming out. They felt like if you knew the truth about them, they wouldn't be on that pedestal anymore. They felt like if you knew the truth about them, that they didn't think that they could make you happy. This was their insecurity coming up. Okay? This was their insecurity. Their lies was being exposed and this insecurity was here. Things got off balance and they didn't know how to offer you anything. They didn't know how to reciprocate. Okay? So they had a lot of things going on. A lot. But there was a lot of lies that they told to make you feel comfortable with this connection. They told you a bunch of lies. A whole lot of lies. They may have even told you they was ready for a relationship, knowing good and damn well they were not. They were not. They may have even told you they wanted to have children with you. They made you feel like you was special. Only for them to renege on everything that they told you. And this made you feel very, very, very upset. Very upset. This was tragic. This was tragic. They had nothing to offer you to begin with. This was trash. If anything, you, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, was really pushing this person to grow up. You were calling them into their adulthood. Calling them up and calling them out. But their conniving, manipulative ways, that had them hard pressed. That's what made them nervous. They couldn't sustain these lies no more. The lies that they was telling you and the lies that they was telling themselves about you. The lies that they were telling other people. They couldn't deal with it no more. I don't feel like this person is very spiritual either. I feel like they don't believe in spiritual anything. Like this person coasts through life just not having that connection, not having that base, and not having that foundation.
Denied.
Yeah. If y'all ready to see how this story ends, I want you to put in the chat your paper, pen, notebook emojis. Because I'm ready to see how this story ends. Like, this is crazy. This is insane. Their fears are coming. Everything that they feared is coming to pass. Whoo, child. Let's go. All right, so when we talk about potential final outcomes, I say potential because nobody can predict free will. I can only tell you what the energy says, okay? That third party that we was talking about earlier, that's who your hater is. Whoever this third party is, that's who your hater is. They thought you had a different version of this person than they did. You did not. Y'all had the same Mickey Ficky. He didn't treat one no better than the other. Yep. The cheating, the infidelities, the lies, the scandal. All of that is the reason why you have moved on. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, you have no desire to come back at all. You have none. When it comes to this person, you are done.
Get that garbage out of here.
You are finished. This is trash. This is hot garbage. If you know for without a shadow of a doubt that you are never going back to this person ever again, I don't care what apology they can offer. I don't care what story they can tell. I don't care what vacation they could take you on. If you know that you are never, ever, ever, you got to tap my cousin. Going back to this situation again. I want you to put the trash can in the chat. Put that trash can in the chat. Now, you got to the point where you just could not wait for this to get over. You wanted to process your feelings. You wanted to process your emotions. You wanted to get to the point and get to the space where you could be like, I want to be able to sleep peacefully at night. Nothing about this connection gave you the peace that you have now, which is why we go back to the card about you being broken open, which was the first card that we pulled. You needed to go through this so that you can find that peace. This is where you're in a place where it's like, you know what? I trust. If it's for me, it will be for me. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend to be happy when I'm not. I'm not going to do anything at all. I'm just going to let things flow and let it be. You just put everything on pause. And now that you've taken a step back, you see everything. You see it clearly. You see all the lies. You see the deceit. You see the betrayal. You see how they set you up for the okie doke. You see it all. You even know that it's this person that's who's calling you private, playing on the phone, calling you with unknown numbers and stuff. Like, you know all of this. Every time they call, you over here like, okay? You out on dates and they over here like, you need to take that call.
Child. Anyway, so
you are like long overdue for this to be over with. You moving towards things that make you happy. You are focusing all of your effort and your energy on things that make you happy. You spending time with your friends, spending time with your families, spending time with yourself. Going to brunch, museums, going to the gym, to the park. Like, you living your best life right now, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Like, you're glowing. And everybody is seeing the glow around you because now that veil has been lifted. This needed to happen for you to go through your transformation. Now you're focusing on what do you really want in life? What type of relationship do you really want in your life? You're planning. This is about your happiness. This is about your overall satisfaction. Nobody can tell you nothing right now. Like, at this point, you just like, I wish a mother trucker would. At this point, you came into a different version of yourself where you standing 10 toes down on your mother trucking business.
I never leave home without my taser. I better be glad I left the 357 in the car.
Okay? I wish you would try me. You're at a point and in a space where it's like, my mind is clear. I have peace. I am healthy. I don't have to sabotage things by going to sleep with anybody. You may even be celibate right now during this time and abstinent. You're not void of anything. You're in a space where you are recalibrating your energetic field so that you can open up to move on. This person may be in love with you and may have feelings for you, but this is not someplace that you need to go back to. Now that you're moving on with your life, don't go back. Don't look back. Don't look back. Don't go back. Don't look back. Don't remember back. Don't recall. Don't rewind. Don't try to spin the block. Don't try to do nothing. You have freed yourself from the things that kept you in bondage. Don't go back. Why would you go back to something that's making you feel inadequate and insecure and invalidated? Why would you go back to somebody who doesn't treat you with decency and respect? Let that mother trucker rot where you found them. That's they hell. That's they life that they gotta pay for. If they don't understand that you reap what you sow, well, that's a lesson for them to learn.
Hey, Stu, your rent's due, motherfucker.
Okay? If they don't understand that you cannot, listen, here it is with the Ace of Cups. You have 0 fucks to give. Do you hear me? 0. 0. Okay? 0. There's a coldness to you, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, that has never been here before. And they have earned every piece of ice that comes their way.
Survey said.
They have earned every single piece. There is nothing that they can say, nothing that they can do, nothing they can try, nothing they can attempt, nothing they can conjure. There is nothing on the face of the earth that could bring this person back. They are going to have to deal with what they've done. When God puts people in your life, He entrusts you to do the right thing by them, to have some integrity, to have some decency, to have some morals, to have some values, to have some beliefs. He doesn't put people in our lives for us to be manipulative, to be abusive, to be, to execute gross misjustices and provide ill treatment. That's not why He gives you people. And then you wonder why when you get good quality people, well, let me rephrase. You wonder why you keep on meeting people that ain't about nothing. What is in you comes out of you. So if your heart is closed and hardened and all of these subsequent low vibrational things, how do you ever attract love? You can't. It's not your job, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, to heal somebody. That was never your job. If this person want to be stuck in fog, let them be stuck in fog. You allowed them way too much time in your space. You gave them way too much runway. You gave them too much leeway. You accepted and tolerated things that you should have never should have accepted and tolerated. Okay? You should have never, ever accepted and tolerated that.
I guess we'll never know.
If this is your soulmate, I guess we'll never know. If this is your twin flame, I guess we'll never know. If this was your life partner that you dreamed about all them years, I guess we never know. Because it's time for you to move on with your life. This situation was dead when y'all walked into it. And if you be honest with yourself and look back for real, and go back to the beginning, they never gave you what they were supposed to be giving you. This was all made up in your mind because somebody planted that seed. Somebody justified this shenanigans because they heard on TikTok or they heard on Instagram or somewhere, wherever the hell, talking about twin flames. Oh, girl, that must be your twin. Just for you to justify and accommodate a bunch of bull. Now that you know what you know, you got to be held accountable for what to do different. You got to learn how to, in which you are, stop being committed to fantasies. There's so many people around you that's good enough. You just don't want what's good enough. You chasing the fantasy of what is better, what is perfect, what is idea. Ideas changed all the time. People change all the time. But for some reason or another, you keep passing up on good, chasing better, and there is nothing better. In the spiritual world, good is good enough. It may be the type of connection that it is. You may be looking for somebody who give you like that little that little spark, that little joy, that little gleam. You know, the little person that come around, they give you that little blushing, that little schoolgirl feeling, that little. But the one who comes with all of that is the one that comes with all of the heartbreak and the deceit. What's wrong with the corny man? He lame to you, but he's honest, he's loyal, he's faithful, he tells the truth. But you don't want that. What's wrong with the girl who don't want to be out in the streets all the time? She cook, she clean, she got a job, she ain't in the streets. She lame, she boring, she basic. What's wrong with the person who is good enough? And what version of perfection are you chasing? Because whatever version that is, it don't exist. You will always lead yourself to chasing a fantasy. Not for nothing, but because it just came to my mind. Not coming after people who do plastic surgery. But we've all seen the videos going around where people are talking about people who have gotten these BBLs and how they smell. You look good, but you stink. How does that work? That man is fine, but he ain't good. That man got swag, but he ain't good. That man can stroke, but it ain't good. All of these situations can be reversed for feminine energy if that's what it needs to be. Stop buying fruit out of season when it ain't ripe. And then you wonder why it's bitter. I say that to say, know when it's time to let go of something that's not serving you. Don't take something that's supposed to be here temporarily for the long time. You took 15 cents and tried to make a whole dollar out of it. And you can get nothing for 15 cents in today's times. Maybe 59 years ago, you can go get a loaf of bread, but not today. You can't even buy a stamp for 15 cents. Stop getting into these relationships with these fix-me-upper project folks. It's not a challenge. It's not a flex. And that's not to say don't get with somebody who's on the come up. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying if I'm working on me, support me working on me. But I'm not going to get you and build you up. No. This ain't build a bear, build a relationship. None of that. And if we're being honest, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, you gravitate towards these pet projects. And this was the awakening that you needed to stop being gullible and naive, thinking that you could change somebody to get what you really want out of them. You cannot mold anybody into anything. They either got to be ready or want the same things that you want. And if they don't want that, it's okay to let it go. But you just keep on hanging in there. Keep on wishful thinking. And the answer is why?
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
Why you keep on holding on? You ain't been able to fit them jeans in the last 29 years of your life. Why you still got them pair of pants? Throw them things away. Take it to the Goodwill and let somebody else get what they need to get from it. I'll tell y'all something funny. I had my son liked Florida State, and he wanted some Florida State pajamas, right? So for Christmas, I bought him some Florida State pajamas. I was so proud of myself. I was so excited. Only for them things to come, and he put them on. I was looking at him like, what's wrong with them? Why they look like that? He was like, I don't know. I said, why they look like football pants? He was like, I don't know. And I'm sitting there looking at him. I'm like, I don't recall them looking like that in the picture. He was like, they're fine. And he went on with his business. So the next day I got on Amazon and I went to go order some more because I was like, he cannot be walking around here sleeping with these little tight pants on, y'all. Why when I went in there to go to my cart to look at the order so that I can go back and order a different size, right? Or at least complain, something. How about them pants said 3T? My son is 10 years old. Whose baby is that big that a 10-year-old can even get his legs in them pants? I'm trying to tell you, he made it work. And what I'm telling you is, you need to stop trying to make it work. Let it go. Let it go. Stop trying to make something out of nothing. Everybody that you get with ain't supposed to be your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your wife, your husband, your life partner, your twin flame, your soulmate. Be at peace and trust that if it's for you, it will be. And it don't require pressure. It will arbitrarily grow into these things. Be cool with dating. And stop justifying your bullshit with excuses. Well, girl, I know he told me he wasn't ready for no relationship, but you know, we going down to the Cancun. So if we don't be together by then, by the time we come back, we will be together. You know what I'm saying? He gonna change his mind. Girl, it's no different than anybody else. Somebody done lied to you and made you feel like your coochie is the best coochies on the planet. Somebody got you thinking you the coochies fairy. They lied. They lied. I'm trying to tell you, they lied. Stop buying into these fantasies that ain't real. I'll put it to you this way. Y'all gonna hate me today. I swear, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, y'all probably hate me. Because I always be showing y'all tough love, right? But here we go. Here we go. If the relationship was genuine, if it was sincere and authentic, just like God putting you that feeling, that energy, that attraction, that dream, that this, that, the third, whatever the ... fill in the blank is for you, he will put that in that other person too. And you don't have to facilitate the conversation. They will. You don't have to bring it up. So we've been dating for the last 6 months. What is we doing? You ain't got to do that. You ain't got to do that. They know they sucking up all your time. They know that they in your house more than your couch. They know. You ain't got to remind them. You ain't got to remind them. They know they be in your bed more than the sheets on the bed. They know. But you keep giving and pouring into a person who all they're doing is take. And ain't giving you nothing. They never have. They never will. It came out here. They have not given you nothing but lies and manipulation and deceit. They ain't giving you nothing. They have no intention on giving you anything. Let the truth be told. If you needed $20 to get to work, would they cash app you? Or would they be like, oh man, that's messed up? If you left your lunch at work, you left your lunch at home, would they even send you money to go buy yourself some lunch? Just think about those little things that matter. If you can go 2, 3, 4, 9 days without talking to this person, what does that tell you? If they never pick up the phone to call you, what does that tell you? If they never curious about what you got going on, what does that tell you? I'm not coming up here to bash you. I'm saying I'm proud of you because you finally came to the conclusion. You finally woke up and smelled the coffee. You finally realized that this was unhealthy, toxic, demonic relationship that was going to always be devoid of anything worth more. I am proud of you for standing up for yourself and saying, I'm not about to deal with this no more. I'm no longer ascribing to the lies. I'm no longer ascribing to these false narratives. I am no longer chasing these fantasies. I am no longer putting up with any of this. I am going to be that pretty bad bougie girl by myself. I don't need you. I can pay my bills. I can take myself out to dinner. I can go on vacation by myself if I want to. I'm proud of you because you have woken up and said, I am no longer dealing with anybody else who's emotionally immature, manipulative, and unavailable. And it happened just like that. Period. You're finding other things that occupy your time, finding things that empower you, surrounding yourself with people who are lifting you up, not tearing you down. And that's the beauty in all of this. And just because you're single, don't mean you got to be alone. Because it's a whole lot of single people who appreciate their solitude and are not alone. Good for you. You go, girl. So with that being said, I'm going to get off this business because I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. I am just so grateful and so thankful for this. I'm happy for you, okay? I'm happy for you. Now, if you've enjoyed this reading, I want you to go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel and become a part of my growing community. You can find me on YouTube at Mimi Lightseer and keep an eye out for more engaging content coming your way. Remember, this reading is here for you whenever you need a little bit of guidance, so feel free to save it and replay it at any time. I love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment in the section below and let me know what resonated with you. And if you enjoyed today's reading, show me some love and give me a thumbs up, okay? Listen, if you're interested in doing a personal reading, okay, you can do so at this time. You can go to my website at PiSeasTarot.com, PiSeasTarot.com. Remember, I will never reach out to you to do a reading. Somebody reach out to you with my name on it, you know it's a fraud, okay? The only time I'm going to reach out to you is if and only if I tell you I'm going to reach out to you, okay? But for the most part, it is not me. I only book readings through my website at PiSeasTarot.com, okay? That's it. That's it. I want to thank everybody who joined the conversation today. I especially want to thank everybody who not only gifted me your time, your talent, but your treasure. And I also want to thank all and give a welcome to all of our new subscribers. And remember, y'all, everybody is fighting a battle that you cannot see. So be kind, patient, and gentle with others and yourself, okay? How people treat you is not your business, but how you respond is. Leave a little bit of love everywhere you go, and I will see you next time. Bye.